Hello, Danny, and welcome to WAGMI. I'm just approving your request to speak, and I will tweet us out so we are officially live here. Are you able to speak, Danny? Just
Hello. Hello.
yes,
Test. Great.
test that. You're coming through loud and clear. Welcome to
Right. Good.
WAGMI.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So, where are you calling in from today, Danny?
I'm from Singapore.
Yeah. So it's
Right.
getting late for you. You should
Yep.
get ready for the weekend.
Yeah, but crypto is 24 hours at 7:24, right? Yeah.
That's true. Crypto never sleeps. That's what they say,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
All right, let me just tweet this out that we are officially live. Maybe
Good.
you could do the same to your community just
Yeah,
to
we do.
boost the
We do.
awesome, awesome. Great. What a time to be alive in crypto, huh? The halving went through nice and smooth. Now we are ready for the next run, the next run up.
Right. Let me do the post. Okay. Right.
It's funny how sometimes the it seems like the Twitter algorithm or the X algorithm, it seems to detect whether someone is talking or two people are talking at least. If it's just one person talking, the algorithm punishes you almost.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I've noticed that it takes some time for the algorithm. You know, we have to talk for like a few minutes before the algorithm really starts to act and play in our advantage. I don't know. It's just a
Oh,
personal experience at this point.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
I never thought. Yeah, the algorithm
I
might read our voice. Yeah.
I don't have any proof of this. It's just completely personal experience that if I just sit on a space, even just talking to myself, the algorithm does nothing. But once I start talking and interacting with someone, then things start to pick up. So it's just an
Uh
interesting observation, I guess.
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I mean, recently, Elon Musk did quite a numbers of amendments on Twitter. So, I think he just said something like the engagement farming is forbidden on X. So yeah. So
Mm.
there are quite a numbers of changes. So who knows, right?
It will make sense, I think, like in the fight of the infinite fight on bots and all this, it will make a lot of sense to do it this way at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while we are settling in, Danny, and the algorithm starts to pick up, let's just start with your story and a little bit of personal touch from your end. I mean, this is all being recorded. We're blasting this out on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Music, etc. to all our listeners there. So yeah, let's start nice and smooth with your background, Danny. How did you end up here today?
Right. Right. So thanks, Wami, and I mean, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever, good evening. So yeah, so I'm Danny from MarginX. So before I started MarginX, I was actually in the space since 2015 or 2016 ish, and then I co-founded a project called PundiX, which is a crypto payment company, and then we did our ICO round in 2017. So you can see me as a dinosaur, or rather an OG, people will say. So yeah, so when we're doing crypto payment business back in 2017, then we realized there are some other features that payment is a infrastructure, so it's needed for everyone. But we found that along the year, people are actually more on considering as crypto is not not a mean of store of value, but and it's not definitely for payment, but they are more keen on trading. So we were actually thinking, how can we best help, or rather to enhance the trading experience. Then yeah, me and my partner, so we came up with some idea like how can we enhance it. Then back then in 2020, 21, then we figure out there are so many and then automated market makers and a lot of swaps. So we're actually thinking what kind of thing, what are the new features, or rather how can we enhance the user experience. And we think about like maybe we can do something interesting or try to revolutionize the perpetuals market. So then me and my partner, so we had this idea like we can use we can leverage on the Cosmos SDK, which is the function exchange, which I mean dive into it later. And then so we built MarginX on upon of Cosmos SDK. And then yeah, that's how we do that. So from payment in 2017, then we figure out maybe the interest, or rather the trading experience, or is needs to be done or be enhanced. So yeah, so we come out in 2020 and 21 to figure out we need to do MarginX. And then yeah, that's how we go through. And then I think we launched our V1 mainnet on early of 2023. So we have been in around the space 18 months or so. And then right now if you come to MarginX, you can see we have a MM ourselves. And then we are try to become one of the meme coin center, like for Cosmos ecosystem. So when you guys or developers, they want to create their meme coins, can come to MarginX. And we are also actively looking for other interesting projects to be listed on our platform as well. Yeah, so that's it.
That's a lot to unpack there. There's perp exchanges, there's an AMM or swap, instant finality exchange, and then also NFTs. So before we dive into all that, maybe you could just talk about the setup, because you mentioned you use Cosmos and the Cosmos SDK. You're also building on FunctionX. So first, why did you decide to build on this? What was the benefits, and how is the results going so far?
Right. So before I dive into it, so we actually built on a chain called FunctionX. So FunctionX is a chain that is built upon a Cosmos SDK. So when I say we built on Cosmos SDK, it's because we built upon FunctionX. So yeah, so why we want to use or want to build upon FunctionX is, I mean, there are a few reasons. First of all is obviously we want to the rationale is we want to write right with the tie, right? So when the underlying blockchain or the mainnet go to the next level, then they can bring us out to the next level as well. So we are back then we are seeing a FunctionX is a rising star of Cosmos ecosystem. So from few from few perspectives. So first of all is obviously the liquidity perspective. So FunctionX actually is I would say one of the very few one of the very few Cosmos mainnet tokens that be listed on Coinbase, Outbit, Bitpump, KuCoin, and HTX, all these reputable exchanges. So and then so their liquidity is pretty. I would say it's pretty decent. I mean, if you compare to some other Cosmos projects, but if you compare with like the tier one like Celestia, Atom, obviously the FunctionX is not to that level yet, but still I would say it's a hidden gem that haven't been discovered. So imagine if people start to discover the liquidity and then the narrative, then it will go up like the market cap, or rather the market attentions will go up like at least 5x 10x, right? So as a first DEX, or rather the first liquidity pool on MarginX, on FunctionX, I think our value will be discovered. And then yeah, so and then and the best part is we haven't launched our tokens yet. So yeah, so I mean this will probably we can ride with the tide. And then the second reasons, or rather second perspective, is the community. So FunctionX is actually had a pretty big size of community, like but not really with the Cosmos ecosystem, but with it's outside of the Cosmos ecosystem. So being built that we can have sort of like a mixture of, we can have the touch of the non-Cosmos ecosystem a community and the Cosmos systems community. So we can sort of like leverage on both sides. And thirdly is obviously is the community and the technical support. So okay, we want MarginX is a so-called a perpetual. We want to, or initially want to become a perpetual exchange that DEX, which is on technical wise is very very hard and is pretty I would say it's pretty cumbersome because we need to make a lot of changes, adjustments, and we want to build our order book on chain, which is almost impossible back then because the infrastructure wasn't there. Then FunctionX team actually sort of like give us a lot of supports, and they even help us to build or rather to rebuild their so-called the blockchain scanner, because back then we want to put all of our transactions on chain, so there will be a lot of like cancel translate transactions or put in order transactions, liquidation transactions, and then those normal Cosmos based blockchain scanner cannot support all these kind of transactions. So imagine, like we will produce like at least 5 million transactions a day, then these kind of transactions are like cancel order, put in order, and then liquidation order, all these things. So those are the so-called the newest or latest transactions that doesn't support it anywhere else. And the FunctionX team actually did us a big favor. They rebuild or rather rewrite the whole the wallets and so-called the blockchain scanner. So I think that these are the main reasons that why we decided we build on FunctionX. So in a nutshell, obviously FunctionX chain is a rising star, and then their liquidity is very good, and they're listed on most of the reputable exchanges, and then their community is great, and they help us to to leverage on both sides, non-Cosmos ecosystem and Cosmos, and then thirdly is the technical support. Right.
Beautiful. And yeah, so let's unpack a bit what you can do, because you obviously talk about people are not necessarily into crypto for at least initially for challenging the financial system or anything. Like they just want to do trades and perhaps even speculate.
Right.
So can you talk to us about the difference between a swap AMM functionality and a perpetual exchange? I think a lot of people get confused about those two concepts and the differences between the two, and how you guys are set up. Because initially, I know MarginX, the claim to fame was a perp exchange. I know you're still doing
Yes.
that, and now you're sort of expanding into the spot market. So talk to us about the differences between those two.
Right. So basically these are like cater for different products, or rather different trading strategies or trading memes. So AMM is called automated market maker, right? So it's like a spot trading thingy. So it's not order book. So when you want to do spot, so users or rather traders just need to create their pool, like they put in liquidity, one sets of the tokens, and with the stables or atom FunctionX, then you do it as a LP liquidity providing, then you put into the pool. Then that's how you start, how traders can trade against the pool. So and then MM is spot, just like I said. So perpetual DEX is a bit different. So you can see perpetual as a futures that without expiry date. So you can just hold the transactions or the positions as long as you want, as long as your positions didn't get liquidated, and then you can afford the so-called the funding rate. So these two products are sort of like cater for different people or different trading strategies. So the initial idea of perpetuals is more for speculations and for hedging. So if you buy a tokens, let's say you buy Bitcoin, and then at $10,000, and you want to protect that your positions, then you actually can open a short positions on Bitcoin at 10,000 as well. So wherever it swings, then your protections or the price of Bitcoin will be protected. And so we were actually like we mentioning, so we we launched our mainnet on 2023, early of 2023. I think it's January. So we first known as a perpetual DEX. So users can come here to to play with the Cosmos ecosystems, so-called perpetuals, and then we are also, I think, one of the first, I think the top three, or yeah, the early adopters of a BRC20 token. So we listed already perpetuals on I think on April, so it's pretty early. And then we want to sort of like introduce Cosmos ecosystems, the new assets class, what is the BRC20, OD sets, all this thing. So, and then we saw, sooner or later we realized that probably perpetuals is too early for the users in some case, because like you said, like I mentioned, is perpetual is a futures without expiry date. It's quite complicated, and then you have liquidations, you have positions, and you have funding rates, and those things are, I would say, is too early. Somehow it's too early for our users. So, and then at the October of last year, so we decided we need to expand our product size. Not only we provide perpetuals, but we also need to give them the start from the basic level, which is MM. And people keep asking. I mean, one of the questions our community keep asking us is why you guys don't inherited the order book style exchange, just like our perpetual DEX. So I think one of the key thing is still the entry barrier. So order book has probably is more for the professional, or more for the capital efficiencies markets. But for our users, for the education purpose at least, sports MM, the automated market maker, is, I think, simple and then easy for our users to be participating, not only from the perspective of trading, but also for the liquidity providing as well. So our users can help, and then we can see our TVL is from, I think, because we actually restarted everything again. So our TVL is from, I think, 500K to 3 million within 2 months time. So yeah, so we didn't like really go out and say we doing has a swap, but we are seeing the growth, and then their response is very good for the AMM. Right. So
This is
yeah.
this is very interesting. And how does MarginX sort of differentiate? Because there are obviously other exchanges out there, both perp exchanges and AMMs. I mean, in the AMM space in Cosmos, one would think of Osmosis, many others, I'm sure. On the perp side, obviously the behemoth that is using Cosmos Tech at least is DYDX. There's others, of course, that are smaller, like Levana, running actually built on Osmosis, I believe, among other chains. So how does a MarginX sort of fit in that space?
Right. So when we talk about I think the largest DEX or largest we will think about as Osmosis, like you mentioned, right? So I think our main difference is the two things. First of all, is the freedom to list. So if you try to provide liquidity on Cosmos, so you are facing a issue as or rather on Osmosis, you are facing an issue is you need to be whitelisted to be listed on Osmosis. So it's sort of like I would say semi permissionless on Osmosis. So users or developers, they just can't just provide liquidity, then your pair can be traded on that. It doesn't work that way. But in MarginX, this is how we differentiate ourselves. We truly let the permission speaks of itself, so users can come in, and then our traders, or rather traders, can come in to provide liquidity, and then do the shots. And then I think some other so-called as some other MM on other chain like Kava, they like Chronos, they also did the same thing, like permissions. But I think the second differences is we can help our users to sort of like increase the capital efficiencies. So we did some magic which we haven't really published out, like the algorithm, because normally people use XY equals to K for the MM, but we did so-called a bit of a tweak on the formula. So we actually input the order book mechanisms on xy equals to k. Then we use another formulas built on top of the xy equals to k, and then we can sort of like let the capital efficiency can go up to another 200 to 300%. So for example, if you do, if you provide $100 of liquidity, then the 100 bips or 200 bips side, then the liquidity is probably like $1 or $2. But with our amended or enhanced algorithm, then the fund size, which if you put in $100, the 100 and 200 bip side will have $5 to $6 liquidity. So this is the so-called improvement or enhancement we did. And then thirdly is, I think I would say, is the bridge asset. So I think Cosmos has an issue is it's not easy for other side like ecosystems tokens can be cross-chain to Cosmos ecosystem, and then those cross-chain bridge like so-called wormhole, they don't really support Cosmos yet. So there are a lot of like assets like from Solana, like Boom, like Pepe, like Slurf, all these kind of I would say popular token cannot be bridged into Cosmos ecosystem, and then we actually help, or rather we the team actually tries to bridge it from Solana, from Base, from Avalanche, then we bridge the tokens from their side, and then to MarginX, to let our traders or our users to be able to trade not even without leaving the Cosmos ecosystem. So users can use their Osmo, Atom, Celestia, whatever, to trade like a Slurf, or the other tokens, or Pepe or Shiba on Cosmos systems. So I think these are the three, I think, main differences with MarginX MM with others MM. And then for the perpetual, I think which you mentioned is about DYDX and Levana. So our models is we are just like DYDX and Levana. So we are actually also using order book, and then our order books are all on chain order book as well. But I think the other the key, there are two main key differences. First one is obviously the freedom to list still. So users, MarginX is using so-called the MM model on our perpetual as well. So users can come here, to list whatever tokens the perpetual pair they want, as long as they provide liquidity. And then the second differences will be the MM portion. So just like I mentioned, we did some adjustment or amendments or modifications on our spot MM, and then we did that because upon our perpetual MM as well. So we call it ALO, which is automated limit order book. And then as long as users put in the funds there, then our algorithm will automatically populate the orders on our own chain order book. So users don't really need to figure out like what kind of market orders or make orders they need to do. And then on this method, we can sort of like don't rely on the external parties, external market makers. So I know I talk a lot, then yeah, I leave it to you if you have any questions.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. And it is complicated stuff under the hood. I mean, ultimately, for the user, he will see a similar trading experience, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, what happens under the hood, the products that are running, it's very different, which is also why I wanted to get an expert view from someone like you, Danny.
Right.
You also venture into. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I mean, to give you a summary. So yeah, so there are, I mean, for spot MMs, what we are different is we are truly permissionless listing, and then we can provide other products, other tokens that you can't really find on other Cosmos systems. And then if you are a liquidity provider, our amended or modified MM can help you to increase the capital efficiency. So you don't really need to go about the V trade, need to adjust the price range in MarginX. You don't need to worry about that. Then for our perpetual, the key differences are, first of all, is ALO, which is the automated limit order book, and then secondly is a permission listing. So provide liquidity, then you can just create your own perpetual pair. So these are the summaries. Yeah.
Beautiful. And you also mentioned just briefly in the beginning that you're venturing into NFTs. Now, obviously, tokens are tokens, whether they are fungible or non-fungible tokens, NFTs. So there's definitely room for an overlaps in terms of being an exchange, right? Why would you limit yourself to only fungible tokens? There's also all these NFTs that are growing in importance, it seems, that can be traded, of course. So how is that done on MarginX? How does the NFTs fit into the exchange that you guys are building?
Right. So yeah. So I think this is our secret weapon, but you reveal it. Nice. Okay. So I don't know whether you heard about this new so-called new is I don't think it's a standard yet, but I think it's a new innovation stuff. It's called ERC 404. So 404 is something
Yeah.
like they combine NFTs and tokens together. So users, or rather, if you accumulate, like for example Pandora, the first ERC 404 token. So Pandora, if you only have 0.1 Pandora, then nothing happened. So it's just a normal ERC token. But if you accumulate one Pandora, then it will the smart contract will sort of like trigger the minting function of an NFT. So once you accumulate one Pandora, then you have one Pandora NFT. So, but if you transfer away like let's say 0.1 Pandora out of the wallet address, then the Pandora NFT will be burned, or rather will be destroyed. So this is the new mechanics that or rather we think that might be the next wave of the NFT, and rather the mixture or unleash the liquidity of NFT. So yeah, so Margin is also thinking of building something on it. So we are in the middle of like building the 404, rather the 404 NFT marketplace for Cosmos ecosystem as well. So users, you can like sort of like trade your NFT. So for all NFTs you come in, then we will have a tools to help you to sort of like to bridge your NFT into the 404 systems, and then users can come here to sort of like trade with the tokens, because once you put in you convert your NFT into a 404, then you basically, if you are not accumulate to certain numbers of tokens, then it is just basically a ERC20. So if it's a ERC20 tokens, or rather a normal fungible tokens, then this can be lumped into NM, or rather use it to our order books to be traded. And then when you want to have it the NFT, so you just burn your tokens, and then you can have your NFT back. So we are actually building the marketplace, or rather the so-called the 404 MM for Cosmos ecosystems. Right.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Sorry, I was on mute. And yeah, I mean, it seems like where people are getting the most excitement from right now is meme coins, which are obviously fungible tokens, and then NFTs, right? You also mentioned that you are planning or hoping to be the place where meme coins are being traded in Cosmos and beyond.
Yes.
So I think, I mean, addressing that and targeting that market as well as NFTs, that's going to be a very, very large market. And if you can just grab a piece of that, that's going to make MarginX a top exchange, at least in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is going to be pretty exciting. Maybe you can speak to the efforts in the meme coin space, because right now meme coins are popping up left and right. Right, I feel like every day I open up Twitter, there's a new meme coin I need to is either airdrop to me, or I need to perhaps buy into, or have an opinion about almost.
Yes.
So how do you guys keep up and address the meme coin market as an exchange?
So we actually run a so-called AI-driven algo. So we will go through Solana, Space, Avalanche, and then we will go through all these like the new meme coins being created, the tokens that will be created every day on an hourly basis, actually, in fact. And then we will also plug in with the X.com API to see which meme coins has actually gone to the trending side, or has been discussed, or been tagged multiple times. So we use that as our parameters to decide which tokens we want to bridge into our Cosmos ecosystem. So what we did, the team will actually buy some tokens, and then we will lock in our smart contract, and then we will further mint on Cosmos side. Then it allows users to be trade. So when users, they wanted to say like, okay, I want to like trade or take back of the Solana side tokens, let's say, then they can give us, they can transfer us the Cosmos based token, the meme coin, let's say ABC. Then they need to rack in their Solana address. Then we will transfers the Solana version of meme coin, the ABC tokens, to their wallet. So this is how it works. So if the our community, he doesn't just, you know, he or she doesn't want to like trade, or doesn't want to leave the Cosmos ecosystem, they can just, you know, play with whatever tokens that we actually help them to bridge over. So yeah,
that makes sense. Maybe there's now that we talk about what you guys are building over there and the exciting things coming up, is there anything else on the roadmap that you want to highlight? Anything you want to share with the community? Obviously, we love alpha over here. Any alpha you can spill without getting into trouble, of course, is always highly appreciated. So how does the roadmap look like for MarginX? I'm sure it's packed with exciting features.
Right. So we have like we say, we want to you know, become the meme hub of Cosmos ecosystems, right? So we want to attract attentions for people. I mean, Cosmos, because of the I think the permission listing, so only a very few of meme coins like Hua is coming, but you know, the culture, or rather the hype, isn't there. So we are trying our best to, you know, discover the latest meme coin on Solana and Base, particularly because, you know, the meme coins there are pretty on a hype sometimes. And then we will discover, and then we will try to bridge them into Cosmos ecosystems. And then at the same time, I think FXCore community, FXCore Foundation, they also encourage users or developers to go to their chain, to sort of like I think it's the name of the fund is called Culture Fund. So they are sponsoring teams to go there and then launch meme coins. And then since we are the largest DEX on FXCore, so users can come here to trade on it. And then the third thing will be we are actively you know, contacting those meme coins hold developers, and then we sort of like convince some of them to airdrop tokens to our community. So when you come to MarginX and trade, then you will stand a chance to get free airdrops tokens, free airdrops meme coins. You never know which one gonna hit, right? So I think these are the things that we are sort of like working on, and it's, I think it's almost done there. And then fourth thing is, obviously, we just launched our point systems. So everyone knows what point systems means at, you know, right now. So yeah, so in short, so we are bridging more mainstream tokens or meme coins to Cosmos ecosystem. So for Cosmos users, if you don't want to leave Cosmos, then, you know, feel free to come over MarginX to trade your favorite tokens. And then secondly is if you trade on it, then you will get random airdrops, those meme coins that launch or been popular on some other ecosystems. And then third thing, obviously, is we just launched our point systems, then everyone knows what's going to happen next. Right? Yeah. So
Definitely. Yeah. Speaking of airdrops, like you mentioned, there's you know, you haven't launched a token yet, but are you also getting a piece of the meme coins getting launched on MarginX? So basically, anyone using MarginX, or perhaps even buying into the token that will come eventually, will also get a piece of all these different meme coins that are being listed. Is that correctly understood, or?
Yes, but not all, but few of them. So some of
Mm.
the meme coins developers, they will come to us saying that we want to have a collaboration, this and that. Then then we will say, oh, how about this? We can help you to promote about it, or we can help you to do so-called the publications, and then we can actually help you to be tagged on our first or second page on our trading page. So in return, we convince some of the teams that they airdrop the tokens to our community.
Mm.
Yes.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of the token, I don't know if you can. Sometimes you are under all kinds of NDAs and non-disclosures. You can't say much, but I have to ask a question anyways. Otherwise, the community will give me flag for not interviewing properly. But MarginX, there's no token right now. I'm sure there's a plan for a token. What can you tell us about it, if anything?
Right. So I mean, just come to trade. You just come MarginX to trade and provide LPs. Then you will find out soon.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Yes, you won't regret it. Yes.
Nice. And just for those who are unaware, like where do they go? Like the URL, like how do they access the UI? I want to make sure people get that so they can go in
Okay.
and easily.
Right. So the direct UI is swap That's all.
Beautiful. And the main
Right.
page, I guess, is marginx.io. That's all they need to know. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so many things to be excited about in crypto these days. Crypto never sleeps, as I think you mentioned in the beginning. Besides
Right.
the short-term roadmap, like how you guys are targeting becoming the meme coin exchange of Cosmos and beyond, you're addressing NFTs and generally just building out functionality to support all this. How does the roadmap look like, maybe like in a more long-term perspective? Like how does MarginX look like 5 years from now, for example, in the next cycle when we sit here and talk about, oh, the Bitcoin halving happened again 4 years from now? How does MarginX look like then, do you think?
So I think even after the next cycle, let's say the next 4 years, I think trading will still be around, and then MM will probably be another call, maybe an enhanced MM, which users can swap or write like our so-called modified MM that can utilize times five. I mean times five or times 10, even for the capital efficiencies. Who knows, right? So I mean, but the thing is that what we want to do is rather we want to provide as a DEX. We want to not only spot and or perpetual. So we want to provide a seamless trading platform. So our goal is to not to let our users to when Cosmos users, when they trade Cosmos, when they trade with in MarginX, so they don't really feel they are trading on Solana assets, or they are trading on a base asset. So users doesn't really need to know the underlying cross chain or the underlying operations. So they just trade whatever they want. So for example, I see some new tokens is pretty interesting, then I just buy. So users don't really need to know this token is on Solana, on BNB chain, wherever. So we will help them to settle all these nitty-gritty details that to give them a seamless experience. So I think this is something that we position ourselves to provide a seamless trading experience. So no matter it's per spot and even NFT or few options. So this is what we envision ourselves. And that's, I mean, the bridging of other ecosystems, meme coin or other ecosystems, mainstream tokens is just our first step. Yeah.
Awesome. What about ecosystems? 4 years from now, are you gonna continue seeing the Cosmos ecosystem expand? I mean, obviously, when you look at something like Map of Zones, which tracks all the different chains in the Cosmos, it's just incredible to see, over the 4 years, I guess, like 4 years ago, the Cosmos ecosystem was um, negligible, right? There was no chains almost and no activity. And now
Right.
there's almost 100 chains, with all kinds of interactions and transactions happening between them using IBC, of course. Like there's so much activity going on compared to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, of course. Um, so do you plan to sort of piggyback on that growth in the Cosmos ecosystem, which would make sense, I guess? Just seeing more and more app chains and sovereign chains being built, more and more dApps being built in Cosmos, and then having MarginX as the home for meme coins? Or do you see a future where 5 years from now, or 4 years from now, where you sort of branch into other ecos like Solana, EVM, the big EVM ecosystems, if you will, which is not necessarily Cosmos compatible?
Right. So, okay. First of all, I think I need to be how should I put it this way? Okay, so meme coin, I think it's just one of our means to be to be found out or to attract our community. So our goal is to become provide a seamless trading experience platform. So meme coin is just the means that we want to achieve our targets. So what we want to do is like you mentioned, so the Cosmos ecosystem will, I mean, in the next, I don't know, 2-3 years, that will have like 100 app chain, 100 modular chain, 100 smart contract enabler chain. I mean, I guess there will be AI chain sooner or later, to be fair. I but yeah, so what we want to do is, but because the assets they are scattered, like among those 100 or 200 chains, right? So the assets cannot just be traded like that way. And then some of the protocols, they are not permissionless, so users can't really breach into, or rather go through the hurdles to go to trade and even swap. So what we want to do is we want to integrate all this thing together, and then um try to give our users, at least the Cosmos ecosystem users, a one-stop solutions. You don't need to worry about this asset is on Celestia, this asset is on Osmosis. They don't really need to care about that. And yeah, so users just come in, then don't need to think about IBC. So, and then, for example, for information, IBC is a bit subtle, or rather pretty hard to understand for those EVM users, to be fair. So they don't really know what is that about. And then sometimes cross-chain for IBCs, just like a click, then everything done. But for those EVM users, they don't really think it that way. So yeah, so I mean, these are the things that I think we still have rooms to be improved. And then what we want to do is to provide that platform, or rather that experience, for our users.
Beautiful. Yeah, that makes sense, Danny. And I mean, crypto moves so fast in the sense of, there's new ecosystems coming up that just blows up in a positive way. You see, for example, Solana flip Binance Smart Chain. Who would
Yep.
have thought that a few years ago? So obviously, it's a bit of an unfair question. It's hard to say. Like, there might be an ecosystem or chain that launches right after we host this space, and then it's gonna blow up in a very positive way, and surpass Solana in 2, 3, 4 years.
Who
Who
knows?
knows, right?
Who knows?
Yeah. So it's hard to tell, of course. Danny, is there anything else we didn't cover? Any last words that you want to leave the community with today?
Yeah, I want to show MarginX a bit, if I can.
Of course.
Yeah, so our TVR, I think, like I said, we grow like 6 times within a month or so. So yeah, and then it's been growing and then been noticed by our users. And like I mentioned, we recently we launched a point systems, and then for users that cross chain from Cosmos, like Osmosis, Celestia. And then if you come in, I think FXCore ecosystem actually have provide free funds for you. So you cross in like I think a $10 fund, then they will give you some free tokens. Then if you haven't tried MarginX, so come and give it a try. And then some more, we launch your point systems. You never be regretted. Just come and give it a try, give it a taste. What is meme coin? And then no harm to do that, right? So yeah, so that's all. That's what I want to show.
Indeed. And for anyone who is unsure where to go and try it out, it's margin.x, or if you want to go directly, swap.margin.x. You can see the stats. Indeed, this is going parabolic, which is awesome to see, Danny. Great job to you and your team on swap stats.marginx.io to follow all the liquidity coming to the platform and protocol, all the trading volume, etc., etc. So yeah,
Right.
Danny, always a pleasure talking to you, and we will make sure to share the updates coming out of MarginX. We're super excited to see the potential token coming out in the near future, and looking forward to speak to you again sometime in the near future, Danny.
Sure. Likewise. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks for
take care, man.
having me. Take care. Good luck.
Ciao.
Ciao.